15 pest control entrepreneurs with decades of experience and a shared drive to grow, lead, and give back. Together, they represent $100 million in combined annual revenue, proving what's possible when passion meets purpose.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are live from Orlando, Florida, Pest Control Millionaire. Today I got Matt Rogers and the one and only Alan Draper. We were at the Real Pest World. Yeah, Real Pest World. First one.
Very first one.
First
Inaugural.
of many.
Yeah.
We're making this shit up as we go.
It's super awesome. Let's do a quick recap. When you guys got here, I missed first night.
Yep.
Showed up yesterday afternoon. Lots of things happened since then. So yeah, let's go over the recap.
I can go first. This place sleeps 15? 23? Jeez. I was pretty blown away when we got here. I didn't know what to expect. And I'm not saying the bar was low for our boy, Travis. But I was nervous, genuinely. Like you never know what you're gonna get into. That guy's got a couple screws loose. And so we were like the fourth on the scene at this particular spot. And we had this idea of what we were gonna try to accomplish, but I was really blown away when we got here. And I think it is going to kind of set the pace for what we're going to try to do in the future, because not only the vibe in the house in particular and everybody's commitment to what it is that we're trying to accomplish is so high, feels so good, but it's been like, it's taken off like so organically. And so to kind of see everybody's excitement helps us think forward about how we're going to try to do this again next year in Dallas.
Like, honestly, there was a point where I got nervous because I never looked at the Airbnb listing until like 2 days before we came. And then I looked at it and I'm like, from the front of the house, it doesn't look, because this house is like 6,500 square feet. It's big. And from the front of the house, I'm like, that either has to have like the basement of the White House or we're getting scammed. I text Travis and I'm like, bro, tell me that you didn't like Venmo somebody or PayPal them. And he's like, no, I think we paid through Airbnb. So I'm like, all right, then we're all right. But it's, it's perfect. All of the bedrooms have like individual bathrooms, so we have our own space. But one thing that I was thinking about, and I've noticed, we've been here, Matt and I got here a night before, a little early, and it's not just about like here and now. The relationships and like our conversations and stuff, they're gonna continue, and it's like, and nothing can replace the in-person. Yeah. Like you and I have recorded a couple of podcasts, but like doing it, like sitting right next to you, seeing how freaking ripped you are, that type, dude, and so that's what we're doing. And it wasn't my idea, but I've been very impressed. It has like exceeded my expectations in a lot of different ways, in terms of how fun it is, like how much I'm enjoying it, in terms of how much I feel like I'm getting out of it professionally, and like the networking, because what happens when you network with one person, you get access to their network. And I've seen that happen. So it's actually been super cool, super fun.
I agree.
Well, it wasn't supposed to be what it became actually either. Travis was just trying to get a bunch of us together for Pest World. And I think they were pretty much sold out at the Marriott, right? And so it kind of organically became, hey, we should have a competition. Hey, we should represent our charities.
You and I talked about that on like my podcast. I think I was like, we should donate half of it.
We should make this a little bit bigger than we thought, and just see what happens. And it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah. So what was the reason behind doing this?
I think the biggest reason was, especially when I was talking to Travis, in our industry, in particular, in the pest control industry, people are so inclined to keep their cards like close to their chest. Everybody's climbing the top 100. People don't want to talk to each other. They just want to compare themselves to one another constantly. And it leaves the atmosphere of the people that you could be cooperating with in like this posture of insecurity. Nobody like really knows where they stand. Nobody knows how to ask questions. Nobody knows how to navigate difficult things that people in the room have navigated, right? And so when you take that and you have what Alan has built inside of Bug Bucks, which is let's cooperate, let's share, there's so much opportunity for everybody, let's do something together. And then you deposit that into a place like this where, and kind of concentrate it a little bit. All right, we've got this forum where we are sharing resources and overcoming problems together and directing people in some respects. But then you concentrate that into, okay, there are 15 of us now, and we're like living together and like farting together and trying to break into people's rooms late at night because it's weird together. And talking until 3 a.m. together and trying to build something different together, you get this like whole other thing. And so I think that is it just kind of happened naturally. And when things like that happen naturally, it's because there's a need. Something can grow organically when there's a need for it to. If there's not, what happens is it's like pushing a boulder up a hill. But when you have a need that you're facilitating, it's like rolling the boulder down the hill. And that's really what this house has felt like, honest to God. Everything just kind of continues to come together, and people continue to get excited about it, and vendors continue to want to participate, and PCOs continue to want to get inside because people want to connect like in this way. And there's incredible value for us as business owners, but then there is incredible value for us when we leave in regards to what we've learned and how we're going to apply what we learn when we get out of here. I'm
surprised at how many people have asked me about the house.
Yeah, everyone.
Like, I have two
vendors included.
Yeah. Oh, I think half of the people that have asked me
today at the show, vendors that have already participated come up to me. We need to talk. All right.
And it's like, and I think it's because the vendors see what's going on. Obviously, there's a lot of people that want to be here. They see the value in the networking and how much fun it is. But like what the question, I get the same line. It's like, hey, are you keeping up with the younger guys, or are you like, how crazy is the house? Something like that. Like this inference that there's like cool stuff going on. People are having fun, and I've just been surprised because people could talk to me about anything, right? I own a pest control company, but they want to hear about the house. Seriously, which is super cool.
I think it's funny answering that question. Are you keeping up with the younger guys? Because my answer is no. I'm exhausted. I'm taking a power nap. Lock the door because Tyler's here. Right?
Yeah. It's funny because I come from the lawn care industry. When you come from the lawn care industry, everyone loves to help everyone. Yeah. And then I got into the pest control industry.
Nobody wants to help anybody.
I was like reaching out to people that are like, don't want to talk to me. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason I started the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And the podcast. I'm like, screw this industry.
Let's help.
And then I got connected with you guys, like all the same mindset. Yeah, let's just build something together.
And that it's possible. Like changing the culture is 100% possible, and people want it too. And people are responding positively to it. I can tell when we roll up at the expo, there is an old way of thinking, and you can see it. Not just by how the person dresses, but by how they like navigate, move through that space. You can tell they are not interested in collaborating and figuring out. But then you see this whole other aspect of people that are curious, that are hungry, that are driven, that want to like cooperate, that are eager to learn. They have a posture. My wife says it all the time, like a learning mindset. How is your mindset? Are you in a growth mindset, or are you stuck? And you got to determine which one you are.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it feels electric. I'm not trying to overstate it or oversell it for next year or whatever. Some of the reason that it's hard to come back to the house is because I am an extroverted introvert, and when you're working the expo, you're constantly pushing out, and then you come home and it's so electric that you got to continue going because it's good and it wants more, so you got to deliver, you know.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. I even had vendors come up to me and say, "Hey, I see you at the house. What are you guys doing?" Like, I want to be a partnership next year. Yeah. So many people, like, I was joking around, like some pretty well-known people. I was like, "Hey, how are we going to be there next year?" I'm like, "Oh, we'll see." Yeah. And they all started laughing. It was pretty cool. So like, it's getting around fast.
Yeah,
it's cool to see.
I think the thing is, and everybody, we're still writing in pencil, right? This is only year 1, day 3, right?
Yeah.
But I think the kind of pillars of what we're going to try to do will be to help the little guy. I think we're always going to have space available for somebody who's just getting started.
Well, we have Joe here.
Joe's here. Represent Joe. we see you, buddy.
Yep.
Making space for somebody who's just getting started, to give them access and resources that they wouldn't have otherwise, and relationships. Joe will leave here with relationships that he can reach out to for every obstacle that he's faced, and have somebody who will know how to answer his questions in a group chat. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why don't we real quick just say like how that came about with Joe?
Yeah, so he posted up in Bug Bucks that he was like super interested, posted his need, wanted to be here, and everybody that's here responded, please come. Do you know what I mean? Get on the plane and get here.
I think the idea was, hey, we're gonna put a bunch of people that have built some successful companies together and try to find out what are the things that help us get to the next level. But then, and this was Travis's idea, I think, we're going to create one spot for somebody that's like, you know, right out of the gate, so that they can start building those relationships. And so really just to create this opportunity for Joe to get to know some people, which is super cool. And it was like a last minute thing.
And he is so like hungry and grateful, not just to like be here, because this place is great, but he's like staying up late, asking questions, taking down notes, and constantly walking around like saying, thank you.
Yeah, it's super cool.
So that's one of the pillars of what we're going to try to do. Make sure that somebody who's new and is just getting started has a seat at the table.
Yeah.
I think the second thing is it's always going to have a charity component, because when you're climbing the PCT, it's very few times that you talk to somebody that's just as interested in giving as they are getting, right? And I want that to be something that we do, not just so that we can like draw attention to ourselves, but so we can push attention out from here, right? The first competition that we did yesterday is like blowing up, and it's because people are representing their charities and trying to draw attention to charities that they're competing for. So that's going to definitely be a component. And then the other thing is we want to definitely make it, and maybe there's a good segue, we want to make it contextual to where we are. So we are in, and make that a part of the communal like experience. So all of us are here in this house in Orlando. We're gonna get the shit scared out of us tonight at Universal together to kind of seal our friendship. I'm gonna be using Tyler and Alan as meat shields to protect me from the zombies. That's gonna happen, but next year it's gonna be in Dallas, and we wanna do things that are contextual to Dallas together, have experiences together in Dallas that we can only have there, that we won't ever be able to like forget. And I think those will be part of what we do like forever.
So for me, I think, you know, if you're like, hey, Alan, what do we do differently next year to make it better? For me, and again, we threw this together. This is like, we're just testing it, but we're going to get some structure in here. And I think that's going to help both the people in the house and the vendors that are inevitably going to come. But structure in terms of, yeah, we're gonna have 4 or 5 groups, 8 people each, and we're gonna have topic, and then we're gonna move, and then we're gonna have dinners. What's happening right now? So it's typical for vendors at Pest World to, and we all know it because we've all been wined and dined, right? They hey, I want to take you out. It's vendors, and just for the record, they have deep pockets and they have large budgets for Pest World. Yeah. What's happening is we're taking those opportunities for vendors that are normally, hey, you're meeting with one company, and maybe there's a few employees, but you're meeting with one company. Yeah. And now we're saying you're meeting with 15
at once.
And so the power, so if I'm a vendor, am I saying, wait a minute, like I have this huge budget, and I was normally going to divide that up, and I'm not even going to get in front of 15 because there's not 15 nights, and it's mostly dinners. They'll do some lunches and stuff, but they're saying, now, are you saying that I get to sit in front of 15, and next year it's going to be much larger, vetted companies that we already have relationships with, and further those relationships? I was just in my mind, I was doing a quick calculation, kind of looking around the house, and I'm just guessing, right? Don't hold me to it. But I'm confident in saying that we have company owners in this house that probably did 100 million or more in annual revenue last year. And if I'm a vendor, which I am, I want to be in front of those people. And so how am I going to get in front of those people? It's going to be in these types of groups that we're starting to create, not the one-off dinner. And there's still going to be some of those and those opportunities. But this type of setting, and it's not just like these awkward dinners right at a steakhouse. We're all friends in here. We're having like real conversations, which completely change how the message is received, and anyway, it's just kind of this new age. This is marketing nowadays. This is what it looks like. This is what marketing looks like now. It's not Don Draper and the Mad Men, with print media, which there's still some of that. This is stuff that sticks. So I love it, man. It's fun because we're inventing it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and I think like we talked earlier, like we want to have a certain company, maybe pick one a day or whatever we decide to do, and really like open up their field routes, really look at where we can help them succeed too, like really what's going on underneath the hood of their business. Yeah. Really help them pull one big lever, so when they leave here, they can take that thing back home and really work on it and really grow that thing, and then hold them to it for next year.
So the four pillars will be a seat at the table for the little guy, pillar number 1. Pillar number 2 is the charities that we're here for. Pillar number 3 will be about the experiences that we get to share together, where we are, when we are together, because it's super rare that it's very rare that this many owners in this industry are together. And then pillar number 4 is, what are our takeaways? What can we learn while we're having this concentrated time together, and what can we do about that when we get home to our businesses? And so that kind of sets us up for Dallas next year. Travis is, one screw loose. He's already dreaming up some big shit.
It's gonna be fun.
We're gonna try to double the number of PCOs that can come, which means two seats at the table for new guys. People that were here this time, more PCOs that'll be coming with us on a dude ranch that Travis has already found in Dallas, and vendors are already like, "How can we help you next year?"
Super awesome.
Which is insane. Like, that's insane. Like, it's only day 3. It's day 3, right?
Day 3,
it's
baby.
Day 3.
Day 3. Yep.
So
cool. Yeah. Awesome, guys. Well, again, appreciate you being on the show. This is your second time, third time?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
something like that.
8th time, 7th time. Yeah.
Super awesome. So again, thanks for being here. Thanks
for
brother. Inviting us out here, having a lot of fun.
Appreciate you, bro.
See you guys in the next one.
All right.
All right. Thanks, dude.
All right, now I'm back with Tyler and Travis. Super excited to have you guys in this room.
Yeah.
Rooms. We're in a stadium.
Yeah.
I just scored a goal.
Goal!
It's been a lot of fun. I'm having cramps right now because I've been laughing so hard. But let's do a recap quick. Like the last few days, I said I got in late. What the last few days look like for you guys. Let's talk about the goals for what it's going to look like in the future, and kind of tell the story how it happened, what's happened recently with some magazines, things like that. So let's get into that. So who wants to kick it off?
Our week's been awesome so far. And kind of how this whole thing was born is we just always want to be collaborative, never hold information too close to our vest, and work with other pest control owners throughout the country. And so in the spirit of that, this was born, but it really started back at our local convention, and a bunch of guys came into town. Oh, actually, it was BugBucksCon, excuse me. And a bunch of guys came into town from different parts of the country, and we put a house together. Travis put a house together, and we really got to know those guys on a much deeper level. That being said, so like we planned this whole thing, super excited to come here, but coming all the way across the country from Arizona, and we're like, well, we got to go stop by Miami and see our guy Gene. So we started off before coming to this house already with the collaboration and all that fun stuff with Gene. Got to go see some bees, and then drove over here to Orlando, which, we've been so gosh darn excited for it, man.
Gene needs to stick to bees and not basketball. We found that out this morning.
Yes. There were many guys this morning that should stick to pest control or like art for Matt. Matt's an artist. He's a beautiful, beautiful artist. So yeah, dude, it's all in the spirit of getting to know each other on a much deeper level. Our favorite, probably top 3 part of the trip was the first night. Unfortunately, you weren't here yet, but you would have been participating. I know you would have been sitting right next to us, but Trav and I and Alan stayed up till 3 a.m, literally just talking about it, like pest control industry, personal stuff, but like our faces were hurting from laughing so much.
When I got into the pest control industry, I talked about this a little bit, like came from the lawn care world. Everyone loved to help out everyone. I got into pest control, and all of a sudden no one wants to help. It was super weird transition.
Very weird.
It was strange. So that's why I started the podcast. That's why I started the YouTube channel, is to give away all the information for free. And then like someone asked me today, like how Pest World was for me up to this current time. And it's like, might have been the craziest 4 hours of my life that just happened. Like, I didn't walk more than 30 feet.
Yeah.
Like, I got bombarded with people. So the cool part was that knowing that my marketing is working, which is super cool.
Heck yeah.
So like, going back to the Pest World thing, Pest World's been done, I'm not saying anything bad, but Pest World's been done the same exact way for the last how many years? Yeah. And my goal was to flip an old industry upside down, as you guys are too. Absolutely. And so like, let's do the same thing outside of Pest World and create a new generation of Pest World.
No, 100%. And honestly, it's been eye-opening. I didn't expect so many people to like resonate with this. Like, I'm walking down the aisle and me and him were laughing because people are like, as we're walking by and they're like whispering like, whatever. And you're like, the hell? Like, it's just supposed to be a fun house and whatever, but it's really resonating, but it's a need. And this week has been amazing, from vendors to obviously everybody in the house. Like he said, we got to spend time with Alan and see him in a completely different light, because obviously, like, in the public, you have to have that persona and whatever, but in here you can kind of let your walls down and be yourself, and you feel protected and whatever. So it's been an awesome experience, and the love that we've gotten from vendors, from everybody else in the house, like it's going to be a cool thing.
Yeah, and like I said, we can all have some takeaways when we go home too. It's not like we're having a lot of fun, lots of laughs. We're all learning at the same time. We talked about bringing Joey in, a super awesome idea. Give him a spot at the table, and he's like, every time I talk to him, he walked up, he's like, dude, he's like, you're like a celebrity to me. I'm like, it's strange, but I've talked with him, he's watched my content, and then he's reached out and I'll answer questions, and to see him, he was like, and I did, like, I'll be honest, like, I didn't even recognize who he was at first.
Yeah.
He's like, you're just so used to be me standing in front of my pink truck. I'm like, oh, Joey. Yeah. So it was pretty cool to have him here, and just those opportunities for those guys, opportunities for all of us to learn from one another.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, me and Mike Keith actually were talking to him about just like personal growth and all of these things. And like, he said this one liner, and I was like, dang, dude, I didn't think that I was going to come into this week and like pull something that's life-changing from you to me. And no, like, disrespect to him, but like, that just wasn't something that I was expecting. But that one liner was like, oh man, like, you just healed some childhood trauma.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about like being a servant, man. It ends up benefiting you more than it ends up the people that you're serving. So it's crazy.
Yeah, so what do you guys think the future of the real world pest control is going to look like? I know next year we're in Dallas.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
I know, and it's going to be like probably double the size. We're bringing vendors, but what does it look like for you guys? I know, Trav, you're already looking at a spot. Yeah. Walk us through that. What's it going to look like?
I'm trying to close a 55-acre ranch right now. And it's like 35 minutes north of where Pest World is. It sleeps like 36 people. So I'm thinking 30 pest control owners. 6 of those beds can be for like production and like behind the scenes work and stuff. But it's a whole freaking ranch. So I'm hoping that we can close so that this isn't just like
We're going to bring horses?
Bring horses, I think they
Cattle?
have them there, yeah.
It's a full working ranch.
But it's like Yellowstone. Like, if you're going to be at the house, expect to get branded.
Right.
And like you're not once you're in, you can't be out, or else we're taking you to the train stations.
That's cool. So it's a full working ranch.
Full working ranch. There's actually a lake on it, so that you can fish, all of that stuff. And so we've talked about doing some really cool things. And honestly, the craziest thing to me is vendors. Vendors are literally lining up trying to like kick the door down to be sponsors. And they're like fighting over each other, and distribution's like, well, no, they can't do it. We want to do it. All of this stuff. So
I was at the conference earlier, and a guy walked up, he's like, hey, you're at the house too, right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, tell me what's going on. I was like, so I started talking about what we're doing. He's like, I want in. Like, how can I be a sponsor? I'm like, well, I'll connect you with the right people. And it's like, it wasn't just you guys, it was everyone that's in the house. Like, people have been approaching lots of people. And it's getting out there. Like, people notice already.
Well, I'm most surprised about the size of the companies that are like, this makes sense, because they're the traditional marketing and advertising companies, and they're huge, but they're like, okay, we need to take a look at this, because we pride ourselves on being a disruptor and a game changer in this industry. Not that there was anything ever wrong with the industry, but as our generations come up in the business, things are changing, and people want to buy and work with people that they know and trust, but also like there's a mission behind it. There's a bit of a mission and a story behind it, and And that's just kind of what we do with our brand, but that's what we want to do here. And I think that those vendors are seeing that, holy cow, can really benefit us, even though we're this multi-billion-dollar company. Like, we want to get in front of these people, not just for the relationships, but also like they're going to promote us.
Yeah, like think of like we talked about a little bit before, but like how many people do you, Trav, know? How many does Tyler know? How many people do I know?
Yeah.
So it's not just the 15 to 36 companies that are in the room.
Yeah.
It's all of our platforms.
Yeah.
And people that we talk to that be in front of vendors.
That's the cool thing, because looking at the Real Pest World's Instagram this morning, over the last 7 days, we've had 14,000 views.
Which is crazy. We just started the channel.
Yeah, we literally just started, and we've been here since Monday. So the fact that since Monday we have 14,000 views is a testament to obviously people, knowing and hearing about us. The amount of people at Pest World that come up to us and they're like, "Oh, you're in the house," is absolutely insane. And like, I know we're going to talk about this, but the people that we've reached out to prior didn't want any part of it.
Yeah.
And even some of the people that have contributed a little bit, like that, there was some push that we had to do to get those things.
Yeah.
And so now being here and then being like, yeah, here, whatever you need, now that they see the vision is kind of wild.
Probably a good time to transition right into like that story, but what happened to you today. We don't have to mention names in general, but like kind of to walk us through like what happened.
Yeah. So when we're obviously on a group chat, we create this press release, and we ask a few of the people to like push this out and kind of create some buzz. And so they said no. They're like, we're not interested. Best of luck, basically. And so we all kind of came collectively and we're like, cool, if we're not going to be supported by them, then we're going to create our own lane. And obviously as people in here, like, we are all very driven. All driven people. And so a lot of us are in business because somebody in our lives told us no. And we were like, okay, like, I'm going to prove you that I can do whatever you say that I can't. And so we obviously have 14,000 views and everybody at the conference talking about us and all of those things. And so in a conversation with a pest control person, a family member is in this conversation hearing about the house from like somebody else talking to me about how great of an idea it is. And they're like, oh, well, I'm an executive at a production company and our platform is huge. And I'm obviously not going to say the name, but like, they are a huge platform.
One of the biggest.
We're just gonna blank and chill.
So, we are having a conversation with somebody where it's like a pest control specific, person that could get our name out and help us is like, nah, we don't see the vision. But somebody at a huge corporation that is getting stories out to the masses every single day, every month on subscription is like, hey, let's have a talk. Like, this is pretty freaking cool. Like, we need to sit down and we need to talk about next year. And I'm like, this guy is saying no. And on a level of scale, this guy's a 1 and this person is the 10. Yeah. So it's cool to like get a no and then see everything that's
So how many
coming
times
from
has that
it.
happened to you guys in business? Like, not just this business, previous lives. Like, how many people have told us no?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, wait, you said no? Cool. Or we're coming after you.
Yeah, 100%.
Now that this big magazine, quote unquote, said, no, we weren't going to help you guys. Cool. Well, we're coming after you next too.
Yeah, 100%.
That's just where we're at.
And then after the fact, it's like, oh no, send us over that story. You want to cover? That's where we'll be.
Well, and honestly, next year they'll probably ask to be a part of the house and come over and do whatever they do. And it's going to be a no from us at that point.
Yeah.
We don't need you at that point. Like, you don't show us love now, then you don't get love later.
Again, trying to flip the industry on its head a little bit, and they don't see the vision until they do. But it's gonna be a big difference maker in this industry. And like, a lot of our idea for next year is like, let's do a big kickoff party. Let's have the conference come to us. And we're joking like Billy Madison style, guy on stilts, fire breather.
And so that's what I was going to say. Like, like before I was cutting you off, we were waiting. That was my next question. What is the vision of the Real Pest World look like in the next couple of years?
Yeah, honestly, I've always wanted to have those types of parties. So the first thing is to have that opening party. I want to be the Pest World kickoff party.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm freaking Googling how much Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders are, like everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, like this is just kind of thrown together over the last like 6 weeks.
It's fast.
Now we have a full year of just crazy people in a house that can help build this thing to the next level. And so it'll look completely different. And obviously, like Matt always says, like we're writing in pencil right now because we don't even know what next year is going to look like. But we want to have this thing be the end all be all of Pest World, where, you know, we're networking, but we have, you know, little breakout sessions for different size owners and all of those things. And then, you know, focus really on helping that guy. Like, could you imagine having a room full of Joeys? Just 5 dudes in there that are just so freaking excited to be here and learn. But not just learn, but you know how many things that we're telling this guy that he's literally going to go change his life in the next 12 months. Yeah. He's going to take what we say as gospel and use that. And I'm so excited to see him next year in the house and see, you know, him go from 200,000 in revenue to $1 million, $1.5 million, because he really is hungry.
He is.
But I want like 5 of those guys at that house so that we can change 5 lives. And I want part of my legacy in pest control to be somebody that like, oh, hey, Travis helped 50 people become multimillionaires and take care of their families.
Yeah, legacy, man. That's what it's all about.
As always, this is like about your 3rd time on the podcast. But hey, we're in a stadium. Yeah. It's pretty cool. But yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for putting this together. Excited for what the future looks like for all of us. It'd be pretty badass.
Thank you for being a part of it, man.
Of course.
It's huge to be able to say, like, we have the support of these guys and to have this platform too. It's
pretty
killer,
cool.
man.
Yeah, sweet. Welcome everyone. We're in the Mickey room. All right, we are back at it. We are with Joey. We got Gene in the house, Mega B. We are in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. We are at the Real Pest World of Orlando. As you can tell, we're in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse room, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, I just want to get you guys on the pod real quick, talk about your experience with Pest World as of now. As Joey, your first time.
Yeah.
We'll talk about your story, which is super cool how you got here. But Gene, welcome back to the show.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Good having you here. What's been your experience with Pest World so far?
Yeah, it's been great. There's a different twist to this year's experience, which is really nice. You know, this is my 5th time at Pest World, so I feel like I've seen the conference, I've seen the networking, I've seen, you know, what Pest World is on a MPMA, you know, perspective. This year there's really a twist, and that twist is this house. This house, the experience has been one-to-one from the people that are in it, from the individuals that I get to meet, and the conversations. I feel like the conversations is what makes it priceless, that it's been really nice. Just now, they just did a deep dive into a business, right? They were able to see from the marketing side of what they're doing, what they're not doing, what they should do, that those are real authentic things that can really benefit a business. So I just feel like overall, it's been a really good experience, but I'm gonna say it again, it's with a twist. It's been a little bit different this year, but it's a twist that's been really appreciated overall. So it's been a good experience.
Yeah, you said you were at a meeting this morning, and they were in some high-level people, and they heard about the house.
Yeah, that was very nice, actually. You know, the fact that, you know, we're here at the house, I was able to be there. They were just having different conversations about different things, and the house was brought up in conversation. It was unexpected, and I think those are the best scenarios, that it was unexpected, and it came about. They started talking about it, how it's just what we're doing, you know, the whole charity detail, that's a different process to it, and it was very nice, the fact that they brought it up, because I feel like it's something that this has beyond potential, but overall, it's we like a seed that it's being put into the industry.
For overall. Sure. You've been to all, like, the last 5 years, the Pest World. You said it's different now. Do you think this is what the industry needed?
Yeah. I think, you know, right now, one very interesting thing is we have, you know, an individual here that's really going to benefit, and it's really going to talk about, you know, how he's here, where he is in his business, where definitely, I think, you know, from a person that owns a business, a person that has came from almost not knowing anything about the industry, one of the best things that I've done is network and meet people. This house has been a very interesting process where you meet people that are on doing great things in business. You meet people like this individual here, Joey, and it's been really good. It's been really good overall.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love that. Joey, welcome to the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for
He's
having
even
me.
wearing pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. What's been your experience, not the house yet, just on Pest World?
Yeah, so obviously I've never been to Pest World, so I have nothing to compare it to. But what I can say is that it's a lot, right? It's very overwhelming because you don't know what to expect going in. However, you meet such interesting people and you meet such high level people. You have such high level conversations that it just like, you know, I thought I was gonna come here and learn about like the technician side, but it's like that's like the last thing we're talking about. We're talking about like super high level business oriented stuff that I'm gonna go and implement. One of the most difficult things is like, what am I gonna implement first? But I was talking to some of the guys and I'm just gonna, when I get home, I'm gonna write a list of like the 10 top things that I think will change my business, and then just in order of importance, and just see what, you know, what can play the biggest role.
I like that. Gene, you typically go to a lot of classes through MPMA, but here at Pest World too. What are those classes usually like?
Yeah, I think they're very informative. I'm going to give the credit when it's due. I think the courses are tailored to different things. I think there's a broad spectrum of different types of courses. Overall, it's very good, informative, educational courses that I think can be anywhere from a technician, management, and ownership level. So there's different aspects to it. So I think it's very, very informative information that they give overall. And I think, you know, people will get what they put into it and how much attention they pay to it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a key detail to any information that's provided overall.
Yeah, cool. And then Joey, kind of tell us how you got here.
Yeah, so super cool story, super interesting story. So as of last week today, I wasn't gonna come to Pest World, right? Because like, to be honest, like I know of you guys from Instagram, Facebook, social media, but I don't know anybody personally. So I wasn't gonna come. But then somebody made a post, I think it was Kevin, in the Bug Bucks Facebook group saying, look, we want to give back to the industry. We want to invite somebody to the house that is in their first years of business, doing under a certain revenue amount. They just wanted you to make a video, like a post entry. And I said, you know, I got to do this. I got to just take my shot because you never know what's going to happen. So I recorded a video that day. It was
How long was it?
It was like a 2-minute video.
Cool.
It was like and it was just me talking. I was like stuttering. I was nervous, but I was so excited, right? And they were picking the next day. So I submitted it. I expected nothing. The next day I get a text from one of the guys and he's like, pack your bags, big dog, you're in. I was like, no way. I was super excited. Texted my wife right away. It's just, you know, super blessed. And like, it's just super grateful to be here. So yeah, super exciting.
And I think that's probably one of the reasons that you got picked, because you're so excited about it. We know that you're going to take it all in and then go put action behind it.
Absolutely.
And you're just so appreciative, which is really cool too, which is really good to see. Like, I know it excites me, excites everyone here just to give back and help out. But what's the experience been of the house so far?
Different than anything I'm used to. It's definitely wild, you know, like I don't have friends in the pest control industry. Now I do. I have like, this is like a family, you know what I mean? Like I feel so welcome. I knew nobody coming into this, and now it's like, you know, like a group of brothers. It's really, truly, it's so special. It's amazing.
Yeah, I know we've talked through Instagram back and forth, and he walked up, the first thing he said to me is like, dude, it's like, oh, you're real. Like, you're like famous.
Yeah. Like a celebrity, dude.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. But outside of that, what have you learned a lot?
I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about like these fast growing door knocking companies. That's one thing that, you know, I know you do a lot of that. And it's really opened my eyes to what's possible. Because when you're there in your market and it's you by yourself and you're growing day by day, it's very easy to get like in your own head. And it's crazy to come into this world and see like truly what's possible. And the numbers that, you know, guys tell me on how many accounts they put on in a summer is just, it's mind blowing to me.
Yeah, that's cool. I think it starts with mindset, right?
Oh,
Jim?
yeah. I feel like overall, like the mind is very powerful, but you know, you have a very positive energy that you give out.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's gonna be such a great return for you. And that was part of your video. So, you know, there was different videos that were seen on that, but your video was very authentic and it was felt just by watching it, man. So
Appreciate
it's like very
that.
nice seeing you here, smiling, right? Excited to be here. You can feel the excitement.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything from the pest control side, from ownership to leadership, is very mental. Actually, owning a business is not easy. Owning a business, it's challenging. There's days that you're gonna want to crack. But I think the power is in the mind of how strong you can get through those days that when you fall down, you stand up and you keep going. I've learned to embrace every challenge. Every single challenge that comes my way, we just keep going. And that's feel like with you here, it's something you're gonna see that we're gonna talk about that. Moving forward, the benefit is too, you can reach out to any of us.
That's the next thing I'll say. Like, you as a business owner, you like I said, you get in your own head and you're on your own little island all the time.
Yeah.
And you're very secluded a lot of times. Like, so it's easy to get in your own head. And so you're busy doing the work, being a technician, you forget to like work on yourself. And then being here, like you're gonna run into a problem and you go back home and you're like, I know someone who I can reach out to solve this problem right away. And that's one of the most powerful things of these groups, is the networking. It's like, hey, you can pick up the phone call and like with a 5-minute call, solve a problem. Instead of like trying to work through it for the next 6 months. Right. Like you literally get like 5-minute call, fix it, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's one thing I was saying to the guys. I couldn't believe that you guys actually all talk very often. Like, 2 of the guys were saying they talk twice a day. I was like, I don't want to bother you guys. You guys are so like, he's like, no, dude, like call. If you have any problems, anything you need solved, call. We are here to help, which is like super amazing.
I think also, very well said that sometimes we can feel like we're in an island. Very, very easy in the pest control industry. It's a very different industry. But I think part of the industry is in these type of scenarios when we meet one another is he's in an island at times, I'm in an island. But then it's like we kind of chat and we understand that things he's going through, like I've been going through as well, and we just talk, and it just makes each process so much easier and just better overall. That it just becomes a big area where great conversations are made through those island moments, I want to say, in a way.
Yeah, for you currently, you've been here a day and a half. What's been your biggest takeaway so far? I know there's a lot.
The first thing that comes to mind is like the mental cap, right? Mm-hmm. Like I put a mental cap on myself. I can tell. I thought coming into it that I had big goals, but I never realized like what big goals actually are. Mm. And even what I'm still putting a cap on myself. So I think that's the biggest thing is like the mindset part of it. But again, you don't know what you don't know. So I'm sure I'm going to learn more.
I think most people underestimate what we're actually capable of.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about the car, and I tell my guys all the time, there's two things to success. There's only two. And so you learn every day to get better, and you don't fucking quit ever.
Right.
You do those two things long enough, you're gonna win. That's all. It's that simple. Gene, let's talk about the future of what you think this thing's gonna look like.
Yeah, of course. There's been a seed planted here, which is great because there's so much potential, and from the individuals, from the house, from making impacts to individuals. I think that there's so much that can come in the years when it comes to this house, that this was something that was done, logistically, but for Pest World of 2026, I want to say almost like stay tuned of what can come, because it's going to be very exciting. I feel like there's going to be a lot of thought process with intention that's going to go into that house overall, that there's a lot that this can transform into, that I'm actually very pumped for.
Yeah, I think you said it best out there before we come in here. Like, the best part about 2026 is we have 12 months to work on this thing to make it that much better.
Yes.
But in your mind, what does it look like? Like, what do you see? Like, it doesn't matter if it comes true or not. Like, how do you envision it?
Yeah,
right
of
now?
course. If I have to talk about 2026 and visions about this home, right? We have a great, powerful group of individuals here that are working on phenomenal things. I feel like that was put together in such a short time span. The first day we had a lot of people come that wanted to also join us, just network, which is great. I feel like the next house can only be so much bigger, from space to land to environment to working with vendors as well, from distributors, from vendors that own their own platforms, that want to benefit companies, that want to help companies grow, seeing in a very great manner as well, seeing some of the companies that are willing to even come in and just support the house. has been very, very phenomenal to see.
Yeah, it's been eye-opening for all of us. Like
It has
how
been.
quickly they're like, oh, dang, like that's super awesome. We want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised how fast it got around.
Of course, I'll say there was a few companies, a few individuals as well that have supported, and it's really appreciative, but also because of their vision of what they see. That I do see the house in the near future, from the size, from the groups, from the people, but not only being to people on a high level, also serving a purpose to those that are wanting to grow their companies as well. That I feel like this can be very impactful. I think associations are doing great things, but this group of individuals, including the house, can serve a great purpose for those in the near future as well.
Love that. When it comes to like the breakout courses like at the Pest World, how do you vision that here?
Yeah, of course. Well, I think the benefit of the house is the space. Yeah. I feel like that can be leveraged. This house has 15 rooms. It has tremendous space around the front, the back, the side. There's just land. What's interesting is where Pest World is next year, there can almost be a ranch if we wanted to. And that ranch can be divided into segments. There can be different talking points in each segment. There can be different rooms about different things. We can open the floor to a lot of different type of Q&As to owners from companies and technicians where, people that are doing, for example, anywhere between 1 to 50 mil, for example, could be in one room. For example, that's two different concepts in businesses, but even strategy. So I feel like there can be almost a broken down individual segment of what is each room and what is each segment, which could be very exciting to see. And we can almost have a platform where people can be part of different rooms and different things as well.
Super awesome. What are you looking forward to most the rest of the time here? Is there anything that you're trying to take away to bring back home? And then what do you look, I know you won this, so super cool, but you'll be here probably next year. But what do you see, what would you want to see going forward?
Well, one thing that somebody mentioned today that I thought was a really cool idea for next year was doing a deep dive into individual businesses. Yeah. Like go into their CRM, see their numbers, like get down to the nitty gritty and truly like have a couple guys that, have higher operations and really get in and dive in and help on like a deep level, which I think is truly.
I think we'll probably, before we leave here this week, we'll probably have that done by someone. I know Danny just went and did like a Google business profile breakdown for like 6 or 7 guys. Like did an audit for every single one, spent the last 2 hours with them. Really helped them with their Google My Business to help their profile. So I think that was super cool. So it's things like that make the difference for all the companies here.
Definitely. And if I may as well, I think the conference overall is phenomenal. I think it has great purpose. There's a lot of great information there. But something that, within the house or outside the house, I think is the type of conversations that you have. Here doing a deep dive into a business, I think that's a phenomenal thing. But what's interesting is sometimes even in conversation, they do deep dives in their businesses to each other. And that's phenomenal. Friday, for example, I was chatting with someone and they just wanted to understand my business a little bit more. I wanted to get to know their business a little bit more. And I'm sure him and I walked away with one thing, just that we're like, wow, that can be implemented. So I feel like that's one of many things that just overall, the home or outside of the home, just networking, there's a great purpose in it.
Yeah, and we'll wrap up with this because I think it's super cool. You invited 4 or 5 guys to your home, brought them out on a job, look at your honey and bees. Like, don't spend too much time, but I just want to say thanks for doing that. That's super cool. I'd love to come down. We've talked about this a lot, but walk us through, like, in a minute what that was like.
Yeah, of course. It was really neat. We had a great group of individuals fly out actually early before the event. And when they flew in, Kevin, Travis, and Tyler, they came in a little bit earlier, show them the operation, show them the fleet, show them the team, the office, got them in a bee suit. We're big into rescuing bees throughout all South Florida. So they were able to go into a bee yard of our rescue yard, understand what the bees are like, see a queen bee, taste raw honey, right? Get them in the suit, because in reality, a lot of us, we work with insects. But bees become an insect as well that become overlooked a little bit. They're a pest. So it was very neat for them to come and step into my world. Stepping into my world and understanding what we do, what we serve. And I'm sure they walked away with something as well. Yeah. That there's great value in visiting other people's operation also.
Do you distribute your honey all over yet?
Yeah, we distribute all over the U.S.
Where can we find you?
Yeah, megabeehoney.com.
What is it called? megabeehoney.com? Yep. I know that without asking, one day I got home, there's a package on my doorstep, open it up, like, what is this? Open it up, it's Mega Bee Honey, super awesome. Like I told you on the podcast a year ago, like I think that was the coolest things that you do. I loved it. I still love it to this day, so good work.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, it means a lot.
Yeah, thanks guys for being here today.
No, thank you. This is great.
Thank you for having me.
Cool, see you guys. Hey guys, thanks for listening to another episode of Pest Control Millionaire. We don't charge any money for the show, but the podcast isn't free. Please like and subscribe and give us a 5-star review in your favorite podcast app. This makes a huge difference for us. If you have any specific questions about your business or your personal life that you'd like answered by me or any of my podcast guests, please send an email to info@pestcontrolmillionaire.com. And if you want to get in touch with me about our marketing class, we do a live version every Thursday night. Check out our website at pestcontrolmillionaires.com. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys in the next one.